If you're a professional man at his highest weight and you are frustrated because nothing is working, watch this video. I'm reviewing 3 mistakes that is keeping you overweight despite trying diets, cardio, calorie tracking. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I use these strategies to lose 60 pounds in 8 months, kept it over 13 years, and I've helped dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. If you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The first mistake is that you are trying to outwork a lifestyle that is actually making you fat. Let's imagine that you're at your highest weight ever and you are feeling that your clothes is fitting tighter and you are just having your energy levels like very low, like compared to what it used to be, and you actually should be healthy, but your work and your lifestyle is just making you very fat. And the truth is that you cannot train a 14 hours of inactivity and poor habits. And the solution you should do instead is you should try to burn more calories when you are like walking and also when you are in the gym, and focus on building a sustainable healthy lifestyle that supports the fat loss. And how that specifically looks like is you need to figure out the maintenance calories, and then you have, for example, 300 calories in a deficit, and through sticking to that Monday to Sunday you are losing a pound, and then you should add 6,000 steps every single day in order to burn even more calories to lose like 1 pound even more. So that's like 2 pounds every single week. And then you are focusing on working out in the gym, where you are having 5 cardio sessions and also 5 times of working out with strength training, because that helps you build more muscle and lose fat even faster. And throughout the day you should also just move, so you are not just sitting in one place. If you are wanting to go 6 or 8,000 steps, you need to, for example, just walking more instead of just sitting at your desk. You could take the phone calls and go around, and also by doing this you're going to feel that not taking the car is also an opportunity, and also taking the stairs is helping you. For example, completing all these steps just lower the number on the scale, but what you want to achieve is having more energy, being more healthy, and feel like yourself again when you look yourself in the mirror and actually liking what you see. What is your biggest takeaway from the video so far? Just comment below and let me know. Next mistake is that you are starting over every single Monday, and you are having the problem that Monday to Friday you are following your calorie deficit diet, but the problem is that on the weekends you are going to restaurant meals and you are eating way too much compared to the calorie deficit you are having, and you are, despite having a calorie deficit that you're creating, but it's going to get erased because you're drinking a lot of alcohol. You are having a lot of meals at restaurants where they're putting a lot of butter, oil, and that is difficult to track. And you're maybe also taking a lot of takeaways and having snacks, and that is going to be very difficult for you to actually put you in a calorie deficit, and you are just not losing the same weight, even though that you are spending a lot of time throughout the week to actually trying to be in a calorie deficit and creating that. And this ongoing cycles is making your waistline even bigger. You are getting more unhealthy. You are feeling that you are not recognizing yourself in the mirror anymore, and it feels so frustrating because you are just trying your best to lose the weight, but you're not seeing any progress. If you are eating way too little, it makes you feel like you are not satisfying your cravings with foods that you really enjoy, so you have a bigger urge to eat foods that is not on your plan. So in the way to mitigate that is just incorporating foods that you really enjoy in your meal plans. They also even staying in your calorie deficit, and it's always easy if you are having a meal plan app, where I could, for example, recommend MyFitnessPal with a premium subscription, where you can put in your calorie deficit, your macros of 45% coming from protein, 40% coming from carbs, and then you are just having 3-4 meals throughout the day, and then you are drag and drop the kind of meals that you really enjoy. And it's easier if you're putting like 30 grams of protein in every meal and 40 grams of carbs, because that is enough for you to have this sustainable energy levels throughout the day, and also giving you more energy to work. And it's also easier if you are being consistent. And if you're having a lot of cravings, most likely you're not setting your, for example, your meal plan up to support the way you're working, and also knowing that you have a lot of cravings in the evening. So if you are, for example, someone who have been in a calorie deficit, you are automatically feeling hunger. So in order to reduce the cravings and hunger, you're just drinking 4 or 5 liters of water every single day and spreading it out through the day. And also in the evening, you are also having like the next biggest meal of the day, where you are getting a lot of whole wheat foods. It could be like 200 grams of chicken breast, 200 grams of pasta. It could be 100, 200 grams of veggies, because there's a lot of volume and fiber that makes you don't feel like you're craving a lot. And maybe you're getting 9% of your calories coming from whole foods. Just the less 10% is not making a big difference. So as long as you're in your calorie deficit, so maybe having a protein kogi. And what you really want to do is that you want to following a for example, diet plan that is going to help you be consistent and following that, so you don't feel like you are missing out on anything. But it's more about the volume of the foods that you're eating. And you also want to stop feeling guilty every single Monday, because if you're just doing the same thing with being too large of calorie deficit and then you are going binging on the weekend, you also want to time the amount of meals that you're going out, because in the beginning, if you're weight loss, you need to say no to a lot of temptations, like going out and eating. I'm not saying that you should not go out and eat like ever, but you need to time it so you are in a calorie deficit the first couple of weeks, and eventually you are having a plateau where you need to introduce free meal, where you can, for example, use the calories from the free meal of 700 or 800 calories. You can go out and eat with your family on a restaurant, and that is like rewarding yourself. And it's about the time that you are getting more confident when you are seeing that you are losing more weight with the free meal, because you're getting a lot more carbs that helps you lose weight faster. Next mistake is that people like yourself are trying to just lose weight instead of just lose weight and get more lean, toned, muscular, and become more healthy. And in order to do that, you just stop trying to go from diet to diet, and you are just focusing on a short-term instead of long-term habits, and that is going to screw you up. Because if you have the mindset of going into a weight loss journey, you think, okay, 3 months I'm actually trying to lose weight and I'm just eating very little, and then you're just going to snap, because after 3 months you're just thinking, okay, I lost some weight, but I'm just going back to my diet. The problem with that is you are going to have your metabolism very low, because you've been getting a lower weight, and if you are putting on too much volume of food, your metabolism is not able to keep up, so it's just going to utilize all the foods as fat instead, and you're not able to keep that lean body of yours. So it's always about, for example, putting more calories in slowly and seeing how your body is responding. And that is why I don't think that you should be so focusing on losing a lot of weight, but with every other week, you are seeing how your body is looking like. And how that specifically looks like is that you are following this calorie deficit diet that I've mentioned, that, and also having 6,000 steps every single day, and also working out in the gym, where you're training 4 or 5 times a week, where you're going through your whole body. I always recommend the first day, like Monday, trying to focusing on working out your chest, then you're working out your triceps. How that specifically looks like the first 2 exercises are compound movements, where you're targeting the upper part of the chest, and then you are, for example, you are having 4 sets. The first set is a warm-up set, where you are getting some blood flow out in your muscle, and then you are having 10-12 reps, and then you are having 60 seconds where you're resting, and then it could be putting 2.5 kilos on, or 5 kilos. You also want to always add more weight to each time you're taking for example, a rep, and also if a set, because it's just, if you are pushing yourself and you're having 1 to 2 reps before failure, that makes you build more muscle, because you are just pushing yourself, and through the right nutrition and rest, you're losing weight even faster. And then you always want to, for example, having cardio, 3-4 cardio sessions a week on a stationary bike or cross training, where there's some resistance. And you're also sleeping 8-10 hours every single day, because if you have high cortisol, which is a stress hormone, if it's lower, you are easily able to not hold on the fat. But if it's higher with the cortisol, with the stress, you are holding on the fat, and that's difficult for you to lose the weight. So By following these things, you are not only going to feel lighter, but you're also going to look better in photos. You're feeling more confident when you're taking off the shirts and walking into boardrooms. Confidence that exudes out of you, and you feel proud when you look yourself in the mirror, and you have a lot more energy to enjoy your life outside of work. And if you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me on my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and we'll build game plan together.